living in. Living in a world where people hate on others and their past selves, in a world where not only are other races racist against other races with no basis, but even with those different races that are racist, I hate on their own people with similar faces, so how can we face this? How do you tell a bigot that we're all one people, and these man-made mistakes are just deceitful, and I can fill a room with seats full of people that break and undermine every stereotype, which are really just setbacks, which are used to ensure that we sit back and never stand up and unite. Instead, we'd rather get back to calling each other niggers, fobs, and wetbacks to start fights, which in many ways does set us back to different settings, and people are forgetting. Let's go back to when the Chinese were working and sweating to build the railroads we use today. I bet they had wetbacks. When slaves fresh was torn away and blood poured down each time the whip cracked, I bet they had wetbacks. When the various European immigrants had to flee Europe to find a new way and landed in America with no place to stay or work, and when it rained, I bet they had wetbacks. And these are all known facts that I quote, so we act like from Europeans to Africans to Asians to Hispanics at some point, some distant relative didn't enter a new land fresh off some boat. And when it comes to the N-word, the N-bomb, I can't start to begin. It's the best example of how we determine the world we live in. I'm gonna go back to before we swapped the ER for the A and used it on friends. Back before nigger became the same as having dark skin. Back to its true origin. Back to when nigger referred to any person of any race or origin regarded as ignorant or inferior. So looking back through history, every race, every people were niggers at some point, which is my point. That only now has the definition been changed to fit the perceptions of the racist brains, who themselves with the racist views are to me ignorant and inferior. So who's the real niggers? Oh, the irony, and it's not fine to me that people accept this. We need to find the world we live in, create a world of honor, love, respect, and piety. We need to create our own Unfluenced society, a world where kids can still dream. Stop believing in the power of dreams. If you dream it, you can see it. If you see it, you can believe it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you achieve it, then you will receive it. That's the secret, even though that's not really a secret. It's no secret that kids need a dream. If a kid can't dream, how can his world be anything but a nightmare? Is that fair? Is that right? That some kids get to dream while others choose to stay up all night? Because their dreams aren't filled with fairy tales, tales of fairies and wishing wells, and all different possible futures. Their dreams are filled with visions of women screaming with faces that remind them of their mothers, bloody children running around that resemble their brothers, other visions of girls being raped at the age of their sisters, being done by a mister that they call sir, and sir as their father figure. But instead of playing catch, they play pull the trigger. Instead of learning how to pitch, they learn how to dig a ditch. Instead of practicing running the bases all the way to home plate, they practice forgetting how it was running home to a hot home plate of food. So what can I do? Only so much money I can afford to give, so I keep them in my prayers, because they can't afford time to close their lids and pray if they want to live another day. So until the day we live in a world where it's not okay for kids to play with AKs anywhere in the world, not just in the US or UK, I'll pray. For the ones with stolen childhoods and stolen dreams, the ones forced to carry guns and wear camo. I always say a prayer for the children of ammo, because I believe in faith. And maybe my prayers won't improve the situation much, that won't stop me. Because to have faith, we must forget all ignorance that would hinder us, so it won't hinder me. And hopefully one of my prayers that come from my mind and my heart will travel through God's breath to some battle-ridden part of the world before the shooting starts, and will give some little boy or girl the hope and will to survive another day. Still I say, I want to live in a world where separated from the negativity is not enough. I want to live in a world where instead of living above the influence of watching my family and friends die, I become the influence and save a few lives. I want to live in a world where being nice doesn't mean you're soft, where dudes get more head nods and hand claps than frozen stares and the icy glare of the world, where it isn't uncool to care, but I still will because I don't care. And I know we're getting there, because even though at times it may seem like the world is filled with chaos and evil, there are still inherently kind of good people, and meeting them is like a breath of fresh air. So rather than add more negative energy to the world, why not be someone's breath of fresh air? Because Lord knows we need it, and no homo needed. That's real shit, it ain't gay shit. That sounds straight when I say it. Now imagine a clothing company that embraced all these things said in this poem and produced them with clever designs and a lot of variety. This in a nutshell is Unfluenced society. Thank you.
Please give it really, really, really big round of applause.